Hey guys, it's Jessie V. So today I'm going to be telling you guys a super embarrassing, kind of creepy story time. This happened probably when I was around, 11 years old, which means that my sister would have been 8 because we're about 3 years apart. It was around Christmas time. I would say it was the first week of December. My mom had put all the Christmas decorations around the house. We had the tree up. I mean, my mom goes like full out for Christmas. There's just decorations everywhere. We even have a feather tree. A feather tree. Like, why do we have a feather tree? It looks like a feather duster. But I guess she likes it, and that's okay, Mom. I support you. So the only thing that was different is back then we had this Santa statue. This statue was, I don't know, I can't even show you guys. Let's say it starts from my head. It was probably like, my hands don't even fit in the frame right now. Like half my body size at 11 years old. Does that make sense? Yeah. And what happened was, this Santa had this little red button on his standing platform thing, and when you pressed it, he'd do this thing where his hands would be on his hips, and he'd like do this as he sang Christmas songs. Like his hips would just move, and he'd just sing these random songs, like Here Comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus. I think Elvis sang that. I don't even know. And like, Santa Claus is coming to town. He wasn't that dramatic about it, but you know what I mean. He sang like Santa songs. And the first couple Christmases, it was fine. He had a really great voice. He was happy. My sister and I would like dance around him. It was fun. And then when I turned 11, things with me and that Santa statue just changed. As he got older, I guess the voice he made got deeper and deeper. He started sounding very strange, like not like Santa anymore, but my parents still kept him, and when his hips would move, they'd make this like kind of squeaky noise. Like it sounded like hands going down a chalkboard. It was really creepy. Like everything about this Santa was just, he freaked me out. I remember trying to kind of avoid him when I walked around the house. I tried not to look at him. When someone would press him, I'd be like, stop! Turn him off. I didn't like him anymore. And I feel like my sister kind of got the same vibes, but she never really talked to me about it. And then this is where it's kind of embarrassing, kind of weird. But one day, my parents left my sister and I home alone just for like an hour to go Christmas shopping. And I was in my room just minding my own business, and there was no one on the downstairs floor. Mandy was in her room upstairs, I was in my room upstairs. I was on my computer when suddenly, that is when I started hearing that familiar tune, that very familiar voice from downstairs. But this time it was like lower and creepier. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus. And like slower and drawn out. And like when you're 11 years old, that is not something you want to hear. That is just like super creepy. So I was like, no, this can't be happening. This literally cannot be happening. I'm covering my ears. I'm super freaked out. So what do? I rush into my sister Mandy's room and I tell her that our Santa toy is haunted. Now, it technically wasn't a toy, it was like a statue thing, but I like to call it one, so I just kept saying, Mandy, the Santa toy is haunted. And she was young enough that she believed me, so we both started freaking out. We were both screaming and crying in her room. We closed her door and we hid behind her bed, and that's when I called my mom, and she picks up the phone, and I'm just like screaming and crying. She can barely understand what I'm saying, and I was like, Mom, Santa's coming to get us. He's possessed. He's haunted. And I don't think she thought of the statue at first. I think she thought I was talking about actual Santa, because she was like, no, honey, Santa's really nice. He's in the North Pole. He's getting you presents. He's a really great guy. And I'm like, no, Mom, he is haunted. He's coming to get us. He's downstairs. And that's when she clued in. She's like, oh, the Santa statue again, Jess. You gotta get over that. I can't even tell you guys how scared my sister Mandy and I were in her room at that point. We were actually both shaking, just profusely crying, to the point where my parents couldn't even shop anymore. They had to literally come home to be with us. I remember my mom being so frustrated with me because I was the older sister, obviously, and I shouldn't have been scaring my younger sister, which I wasn't even doing purposely. I literally thought the Santa was coming to get us, but I could see where my mom was coming from. You know, I should have been taking care of my sister, not completely freaking her out while my parents were gone, because I think she was so scared that she couldn't sleep for a good 2 weeks after that. She kept having to sleep in my mom's bed, which my mom wasn't too happy about. But basically what I found out, because I was just so silly and did not think logically back then, was that obviously the Santa statue was running out of batteries. Obviously. Why didn't I even clue that in? All my dad had to do was go upstairs, get new batteries, put it in the Santa, and Santa was back to normal. He was back to his jolly old self, just, you know, swinging his hips like Santa Claus does. But I mean, still, that thing gave me a really bad vibe. Every single time. And then like 2 years later, the battery started running out again, and I was like, Dad, just throw it out. Throw it out, please. So yeah, we don't have that Santa anymore, which kind of sucks because I wanted to show it for this video. Actually, it doesn't suck. I'm kind of glad we don't have it anymore. But there's like pictures that I put throughout this video that kind of looked like what it looked like. That wasn't the actual thing, but close enough, you know? So if you guys have a singing Santa, watch out. Keep changing those batteries, okay? Anyway, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this really stupid story time. All my social media is down below, along with my vlog channel and my P.O. box information, so check that out. And until next time, guys, bye!